All right, let's dive in. We're mapping a really critical window of time here, from February 12th to the 18th, 2026. The dream logs themselves gave this period a name, and it's a big one, the Great Transit. And believe me, our forensic analysis is about to show you exactly why.
So right off the bat, we get this incredible atmosphere. This wasn't some movie the dreamer was just watching. No, they were standing right in the middle of an obstacle course they had built themselves. And that space, wow. It was just thick with the smell of raw earth, of pure, unformed potential. And this slide really gets to the heart of the matter. This was the core conflict, the real tug of war for the whole week. On one side, you've got what we're calling the old gravity. You know the feeling, right? That heavy pull of being the bus driver, always responsible for getting everyone else where they need to go, dealing with all that systemic friction and that knee-jerk reflex to try and fix everything. But on the other side, there's the pull of a sovereign future. This is the architect role, operating on a clean, clear frequency, moving with an effortless flow. This was the battleground.
So to really understand this transit, we have to look at the baggage being carried. We're going forensic here, digging into the data points of that old programming that was still pulling, still had a very powerful influence.
This table breaks down that resistance into 4 key echoes. First, a deep dependency on that bus driver identity just to survive. Then, you've got this legacy supervision, parental figures popping up in professional dreams, acting as this outdated inner authority. There was constant systemic friction, these conflicts with passengers that perfectly mirrored struggles in waking life. And of course, the fixer reflex, that constant urge to help people who didn't even want it. And look at the vector for each one, stall. Every single one of these was hitting the brakes.
So how did this stuff actually show up? Well, the dream logs mapped out some pretty critical short circuits. These are the moments where that old system wasn't just a drag, it was actively threatening to pull the dreamer right back under.
First, we get this incredibly potent symbol, a bicycle, pulling a heavy trailer. I mean, just picture that for a second. It's the perfect image of using the wrong tools for the job, right? It's trying to use your own personal willpower, your own muscle, to move a load that was meant for a divine engine. That path leads to one place, and one place only: total burnout.
Next up, an office with no milk. Now, I know that sounds almost mundane, but in the language of the subconscious, this is a huge red flag. Milk is primal nourishment. It's basic sustenance. And for it to be completely absent from a workplace, that's a clear signal that the old professional structure, the old way of doing things, had become a place of drought. It literally could not provide even the most basic level of support anymore.
And then we get the most urgent alert of all, a dream of a sinking ship, which represented the old career. And here's the critical part. The path to escape was blocked by crowds of people rushing around. The message couldn't be clearer. You can't go back. You can't try to fix the sinking ship. The old way is inaccessible. The only way out is a complete and total exit.
But you know, just as that old world was sinking, a new one was starting to come into view. So now let's shift to the pivot points, the moments where the whole energy of the week began to change, dramatically. This is the part where the dreamer finally arrives at a way station.
And things started happening fast. On February 15th, the whole dreamscape shifts from the local, grimy bus depot to an international airport. That's a huge signal, a move towards global, higher-level operation. Then on the 16th, 2 things happen back-to-back. A championship victory is declared. Boom! The dreamer basically graduates from an entire curriculum of old, painful lessons. And right after that, a powerful lawyer appears to formalize a relocation, a binding, psychic move into a brand new identity.
But with any big threshold like this, there's always a crucial question hanging in the air, isn't there? Was this airport a real portal, a genuine gateway to a sovereign future, or was it just another liminal trap, another cosmic waiting room where progress could stall out all over again?
Well, the answer came, and it came in the evidence of a whole new operational physics, a new law that started to govern the dreamer's reality. Let's call it the law of multiplication.
First, we see this incredible evolution in the toolset. The old way, the way of the old gravity, it was all about redundancy. It was like buying a whole new toolbox just because one screwdriver was worn out. But the new way? It was about precision. It was about finding the one right tool and using it like a master, with focus, to get these complex results with almost startling efficiency.
And this is what illustrates the new physics perfectly. In this really climactic dream, a single bird escapes from its cage.
But there's no panic, no frantic attempt to get it back. It is simply released. And in that exact moment of surrender, 2 new birds just materialize in its place. This is so important. Letting go of one specific need didn't create lack. It created the space for a dual, a multiplied opportunity to just show up.
So, with all this evidence on the table, the sinking ship, the airport, this brand new law of multiplication, it is time for the final verdict. What was the ultimate outcome of the Great Transit?
And the conclusion from the logs is clear. It's definitive. The relocation was made official. The championship was won. The old lessons were done. The dreamers successfully navigated the passage. The gate was passed. Period.
But passing a gate like this isn't just about getting to the other side. It's about what you acquire along the way. And 3 new forms of currency were secured. First, the currency of breath, a sovereign voice finally free after years of being shut down. Second, the currency of precision, having that master's tool, choosing surgical efficiency over brute force. And finally, the currency of union, a new magnetic frequency that shifts the entire game from chasing and pursuing to attracting and receiving.
But the logs leave us with one last, really provocative thought. The gate was passed, yes. The relocation is official. But the flight from the airport has yet to board. The journey is confirmed, but it hasn't actually begun. The momentum is building.
If this week's mapping of the collective dreamscape resonates with your own story, or you are interested in seeing more,
Leave a comment below with your most vivid anchor from the week.
To stay aligned with the upcoming cycles, like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. We continue the story next week on the next moon cycle.